Hey everybody, I'm JimClassic, and this is Geektober. That's right, it's the Halloween season. And what is Halloween without scares and frights? Ghouls, ghosts, and even monsters. Monsters. And robots. Monsterbots. For video number 2, I would like to talk about the Monsterbot known as Grotusque. This is the Monsterbot Grotusque. It's basically a hunchback saber-toothed dragon with 2 tails. I mean, if any one of these Monsterbots is truly, well, grotesque, I think it might be Grotusque. I mean, he's got this big pink dinosaur body, this double tail thing going on. He's got, like, the spines. He's got these, like, vestigial claws or something, like, you know. And of course we got the saber-toothed tiger head with, like, the really long neck. And I actually really like the segmented neck details. They looked great, in my opinion. They're not really segmented, but it does kind of give the illusion that this thing could really move around. But you got some really cool simple sculpted details. I mean, this is a G1 toy. We're not going too deep into here, but some of the stickers are still in pretty good shape too, depending on where you look. Right there, got some cool sticker detail. Same thing on the side there. I think that's it. Oh yeah, no. So got some. Yeah, actually, they're in really good condition, all things considered. The wings are 3D printed. I don't have the original wings at all, so I kind of just got that on eBay. And, he stands pretty well. Oh, yeah, as he proves me wrong. But no, if you stand him back with the tail down, he'll stand okay. Now, with the gimmick, of course, they have the spark feature. Now, this one actually works. If you'll just give me a second. So Grotusque does have a working spark feature. You press the button on the back of his head, and it looks like he's growling and roaring, and even the jaw opens and closes. It's really cool. This is definitely a fun feature. Not much else to say about the beast mode. Let's just get this guy into robot mode. Now, transformation is a little bit more complicated than any of the 3 Monsterbots. However, apparently the right leg is a little broken. You see the stress lines right there. If I'm not too careful, this thing's gonna break. And as you can see, a piece broke off as I was transforming it. So I have to be extra careful with this guy now. Actually, it seems to be moving a lot more freer now that it broke. And with Grotusque in robot mode, well, he looks less grotesque. Look at that baby face right there. Maybe Grotusque is the kid of the group, because that is the face of a fresh, wide-eyed looking cadet or something. I don't know, but definitely not Grotusque or grotesque. But otherwise, Grotusque is your basic G1 blocky robot. You got some basic, simple shapes here. You do have some decent arms, though. Not too long, not too short. They do rotate pretty well. I mean, the wings kind of get in the way, but still, it does have a good range of motion. It does have elbows, which is nice. You can't always say that for a lot of G1 toys, but he's got some good proportions for his arms. Now, for the feet, of course, we got, like, the mono foot right there. There's no real separation. Well, there is, but you really can't tell. Like, they are independent pieces, but, what good will it do? He has no hip rotation. He can't bend his knees, really. It's a mono foot. Of course, the beast parts are just kind of hanging off of the legs. Typical for even some of the Dinobots, and of course, the beast mode is just kind of tucked away upside down in the back. You know, not the prettiest feature, but then, you know, his name is Grotusque, so, you know, he doesn't have the best, cleanest, prettiest robot mode. Just a pretty boy face, and that's just about it. Now, my copy of Grotusque does not come with any weapons. Well, he didn't have any weapons when I bought him. I'm sure he came with weapons, but we're going to use these weapons and just a 5mm port weapon, and he can hold them pretty well. So you get a gun with a 5mm peg, and he can hold it. Doesn't look too bad with these double guns either. Okay, real quick, before we continue on to the Titans Return Grotusque, after recording all my videos, I completely forgot that Twinferno and Grotusque both came with collector's cards, so I just want to talk about that real quick. So we got Twinferno's collector's card here from Titans Return. We see just basically him standing there with the Titan Master Debaru just kind of attaching to his shoulders. Moving on to the back, we see his stats in red. It's how Twinferno is, and with the blue, it is Debaru's power that increases, you know, Twinferno's abilities, which is, you know, this is kind of cool. I like how the two combined basically, in some cases, go beyond a 10, which that's not something you see very often. And then Grotusque here, we have a sideways card, and this is a really cool image of his beast mode, just kind of roaring and breathing fire and firing his guns, and you see the robot mode behind him as he's transforming. So this is really nice card art. I'm a big fan of collector's cards when it comes to Transformers. I wish Hasbro would just do this more often. And here are Grotusque and Fengul's stats. And again, actually in some cases, wow, Fengul might be definitely smart going above a 14 here between Fengul and Grotusque. So, you know, you get to see some souped up stats here for these guys. Unfortunately, we're doing the cards right now because I don't think Repugnus came with a card, or at least I don't have one for mine, so that's why we're not saving this for the last video. But yeah, the Twinferno and Grotusque Titans Return collector's cards. Moving on to Titans Return in 2017, we have Grotusque and his Titan Master Fengul. Also, this was a special figure, so it also came with the Titan Master of Scorponok. That's right, before the Titan class Scorponok in Earthrise, we got the Titan Master. So that's kind of cool. You can kind of have a mini Scorponok, you know, taking over people's bodies and possessing them or something, or whatever, you know. So about 50% of Grotusque are reused parts from Twinferno. The bottom half with the legs and the tail, and also the monster wings, and even the weapons are just the same as Twinferno's. It's the chests and the arms which are different. However, one of the noticeable things is that this Grotusque does not have two tails. It's just one tail, which doesn't really peg together very well. So I suppose you could just give him two tails that way. But really, it's just not pegged in properly. However, where G1 Grotusque is hunched over, the Titans Return one is standing upright. Personally, I think that kind of takes away the monster vibe for me. And also, the other weird thing is that, again, 50% of him is Twinferno, which is the bottom half, and those wide hips just make Grotusque look kind of awkward and clumsy. It worked for Twinferno. Why it doesn't work for this figure, I don't know. But it is kind of more obvious that this mold was cannibalized from Twinferno, and maybe not in the best way. Alright, so I know I've just been poo-pooing on this figure since I brought it out, but just to maintain a little bit of positivity here, let's just take a good long close-up of that head sculpt. Yeah, I might not like the position of it on the body, but I can't deny that is a really, really good head sculpt. Like, you see all the same mechanical details that you did see with the G1 version, but it's more refined. It looks more cat-like. I like the little tufts of robo-fur there by the cheek. Sure, the fangs could be a little bit bigger, but like that scowl, that growl, those eyes, those eyebrows, the mechanical details, even the segmented neck area looks better. This is a really cool beast head sculpt. I gotta give this thing props. It is a nice beast head sculpt. It's just, if it were like, you know, tilted down maybe 45 degrees, I think this thing would have looked a lot cooler. Like, this beast mode would have looked a lot meaner had that neck, you know, been tilted down an extra 45 degrees. You do get some nice clean paint details there, however. The yellow and the red kind of match the stickers a little bit. That Autobot symbol is a bit janky, but they really put it in a bad spot. Other than that, you know, not much paint detail. You know, a little bit of red right there. Nice Autobot, nice clean Autobot tampograph right there, and that's kind of it. A little bit of blue on the pink, but yeah, it's a minimal but clean deco. But man, that head sculpt is so freaking cool. All right, now, before we get this guy into robot mode, we got to talk about the Titan Master Partner, Fangul. You lift up the belly right there, and you can see him in the pilot seat. Getting this guy out could be a bit of a chore. Getting this guy in a standing position, we see a very nicely painted figure here. We see some blue in the arms, and you can actually make out that beast head. Definitely a saber-toothed tiger kind of a look. And again, much like Twinferno's partner, this guy is modeled after the Battle Beasts. Now, the Battle Beasts are like twice the size of these guys, but the homage is there, the thought is there, and that's kind of a cool little crossover idea. And transformation of Grotusque is very similar to that of Twinferno, since at least 50% of him is Twinferno's parts. And here we have Grotusque in robot mode, and I have to say this is a huge improvement over that beast mode, where my opinion of that beast mode was pretty lackluster, and, you know, I definitely had a lot of complaints. Well, I don't think I have too many complaints about this robot mode. It looks fantastic. Of course, starting with the head, Grotusque still has that fresh face, baby face going on right there. I really like how the beast mode head kind of acts as a backpack, and it folds in rather nicely. I mean, heck, if you unhinge it a little bit and just kind of put it over his head, it kind of looks like a tiger head crown kind of a thing. If you want him to have that barbarian look, but you don't have to do that. It just tucks away nicely right there. So much better than the G1 version. Of course, you have the wings right there. You can just put them back like so, or keep them out like that, whatever you want to do. And I really like how the jaw opened up and just became the chest plate. That was a really nice touch. Well, arms are clean. You got some hollow arms, but that's not too unusual for some Transformers these days, or any days really. That's not that uncommon at all. So, do I really take points away for something that's kind of ingrained in a lot of them? But got some good clean paint apps right there. Looking pretty good right here. Legs, of course, are exactly like Twinferno's, and they are solid, and he poses well, he stands well, joints are tight. Whatever mold degradation I was complaining about for the beast mode are not present here in the robot mode. Of course, he comes with his blasters, the same blasters I was displaying with the G1 version, since the G1 version, my G1 copy does not have any guns, but he holds them well. They're nice and thick paint. It's like an off-white, kind of the same color as the shoulders. And, of course, they can combine to form double guns like so. And of course, you can put your Titan Master right there in the gun, like a cockpit or something. I mean, that would work if I had a base transformer with me, which I don't. But yeah, no, this version of Grotusque, the Titan's Return one, is really good. At least the robot mode is really good. I prefer that over the beast mode for this figure. And yeah, even though he's a deluxe and he lacks the size of an intimidating monster, you know, he makes up for it in a really cool robot mode. And I guess he's, you know, got some cool weapons as well. That's all I gotta say about the Monstebot Grotusque. Both the G1 and the Titan's Return version. I'm JimClassic. You have been watching Geekin' It. I will see you later. Take care, everybody.